Hi, I'm Andy Murphy from Informed Commercial Property Information. Over a period of time, any IT infrastructure sort of grows in an ad hoc manner. While still functioning okay, make life difficult, especially if there's problems with hardware failures or software problems or glitches. When we were able to remove those from site and put them with Office 365 instead, it gave us the idea that really we could do that with everything. And we brought Datel in, and they looked at what we had. They gave us an 18-page report that was full of red ink, and we decided to go down the route of a hosted environment instead. We got rid of I think we had 8 or 9 servers between Manchester and Chester, and we removed them all. We put all information up onto the virtual host in Datel's cloud infrastructure. In terms of the advantages of that are just huge, they're stratospheric. It took a lot of the problems out in terms of worrying about redundancy and things going wrong, and if you get one server that fails and all this kind of stuff, it really doesn't matter because it's a virtual platform. So there's always some slack somewhere in the system that takes up the slack and then it carries on again. We simply just bring Dave up and say we want 2 more processors on these 4 boxes, or we want another 4 gig of RAM in these 4 boxes, and they just basically switch them on. They just upscale it. So you can upscale it and downsize it as it's required. We did an extra 200 gig, we ring them up. We did an extra 200 gig, it's straight on, it's done, dusted. It's also, of course, very resilient to security threats and viruses and the like, because the RDS boxes that the clients work on, the users work on, simply can be spun up again from last night's backup. It's been massively advantageous to us in a lot of ways. The directors have benefited more than any. A remote desktop which they can get on iPad, iPhone, any computer in the world, as long as they've got our gateway credentials, they can log in and out. We've had quite a lot of staff take advantage now of being able to work from home, being more flexible because they've got a computer at home. They just log in, the RDS is there, all their files are there, everything else. In terms of the users, they're all standardised. They get a very stringent number of applications that they can see, so we very carefully define what they can see and what they can't via group policy. And I'll be honest with you, I think if we had 1,000 staff, we'd still only require 1 person. So the difference in terms of overhead of staff and time and everything else and looking after the system and managing it is fantastic. Okay, what Datel Advansys have given us really is a very flexible system that enables us to scale it, and also, of course, the biggest advantage, I suppose, is the fact that all the software is now rented. So nothing becomes redundant, nothing is thrown away, nothing is outdated. Now normally, if you had hardware, if we had tin here, as the saying goes, then we would have to buy Windows Server 2016. We'd have to perform an upgrade on those servers, and it would be a big headache and a fairly big cost. Whereas with this, it isn't, because we only rent it, we just swap. So we pay Datel Advansys a small fee for their time to help us do the migration. And of course, the other thing about it, which is wonderful, is the fact we can migrate this offline. It's hugely flexible, very cost efficient, and can be reached by any member of staff anywhere, at any time, on any device. I mean, it's certainly meant that the company's become much more efficient and much more able to be flexible in terms of working hours, flexing time, working from home. It just means that things are done when they need to be done and not during core hours when a certain person's there. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's very secure. We've had all sorts of penetration tests on it. It's passed absolutely everything. We work with an awful lot of local authorities now. We've got 160 local authorities. They are some of the most stringent people in the country in terms of their penetration tests that they do, and they want to know everything about you. Do you adhere to certain ISO standards and everything else? And all of Datel Advansys systems do adhere to all those standards. And because of that, because we use them 100%, therefore all of our standards adhere to all those standards too. So we fly through penetration tests, we fly through any kind of security test that any of these local authorities put on us, which is essentially getting the tenders through and running the business.